All right, awesome. Thanks for hopping on. I apologize for the mix-up with the link. I don't know what happened. So we'll probably have some people trickling in. If you guys can kind of be my eyes for the team page and just kind of direct people to this new link. I've posted it like 3 or 4 times now, but I don't want to keep, I'm going to turn my Facebook off because I keep getting notifications and I get really distracted. So just kind of be my eyes if people are like, where's the team call? Just copy and paste the link. I just want to say thanks for hopping on. And second, I want to say thanks for just being so patient and not and having these calls every week. It's really been just kind of helping me with my stress and just being organized with the business and giving my all when I am in the business and giving my all when I am with the kids. And most importantly, like I want you guys to take this as me leading by example, because this is what I want for you guys. I don't want ever for you guys to ever feel overwhelmed or not look forward to a call or feel like it's one more thing on your plate, because that's not what this business should be about. And the beauty of it is that it is your business. So you can kind of choose when and where you're investing your time and just learning that balance. So, you know, if you're struggling in that area of balance, like own your time. It's totally fine. You know, so hopefully you can see that I mean that and I want that for you, and that by doing that your business doesn't fail, but that you lead by example and you set those boundaries for yourself, for your coaches, and for your challengers. So thank you for that. And with that is, so we won't have a team call every week, but Janelle Summers has a team call every Wednesday at noon. So it's really kind of perfect, because if you can keep this time slot scheduled out of your business hours, scheduled out of your social calendar, and you can commit to this time, you can get an amazing call from Janelle or a coach that she brings on from her team, covering all sorts of topics: Success Club, organization, how to run a 6-figure business, how to hit Success Club, how to post, how to be you. Like, she has all those topics. It's at noon on Wednesdays, but the same link that you use to watch live, you'll use to watch as a recording. So you don't have to wait for a recording to be uploaded. You just use that same exact link. And I will post those moving forward on Tuesdays. Okay. So, or as soon as she gets it, I think it's Tuesdays that Meg posts it for her team. So I'll just copy from Meg and post it into our team page. So if you can't obviously get there at noon, because obviously that's kind of a tough time, then just save this 9:15 time and listen to Janelle's call from 9:15 to 9:30. I think they're only 30 minutes. And then that next 30 minutes, like, just bust out a little power hour or read your personal development, or maybe you're getting your workout in, or check your downline office, or, you know, do something with that hour. Implement what Janelle talked about on her call. So don't just say, okay, we don't have a team call, like there's a free hour for my week. Find something to fit in that space. You've already set this time aside for how long. So now just fill that time with something else that moves your business forward, and it can still be that training call from Janelle. Or if you miss the National Wake Up Call, make sure you listen to the National Wake Up Call at this time. So there's 2 tools that if you're not using, that you can substitute for this time with me. All right? Good. And so also, and I hope you've kind of noticed, is that instead of doing a team call, it's not that I don't want to talk to you, it's not that I don't have anything to say, it's that by this time I'm usually pretty tired, or I'm wrapping the kids up or whatever, and you know, I just kind of needed that hour to focus on my own business, because I started to see that slip. But I'm going to try to do 1 video a week for you guys that's in between 15 and 25 minutes to just encourage you and for you to hear my voice, and for you guys to hear what's going on in my business and how I'm overcoming things, or what I'm planning out, or just to stay in touch with you guys. And sometimes I might be able to do them live and use the live feature. Sometimes they'll be like recorded YouTube, but I'm still going to try and get my face and my voice in there so you guys can hear me and still be a little bit connected. Okay. All right. So I'm going to put you guys all on the spot. I have a few things that I just want to say for the month of May but I want you guys to go ahead and open up and ask questions that you guys have regarding Success Club. We have, like, I'm looking at the faces on here, and there are some people that rock Success Club every month, and there are some people that are still learning how to hit that, how to develop that, how to cultivate that culture for their business. So, you know, with a brand new month, and you're not going to have me face-to-face right here the rest of the month. So this is the time, the first week of the month, to take advantage of this, okay? Because when you can connect with other coaches and get ideas from other than just me in a one-on-one, or just your upline from a one-on-one, and be able to hear the excitement and hear that versus just seeing it typed out, like, that's when the community builds. That's when you kind of build your confidence. And I guarantee you that if you have the question, it's already been asked by somebody else, so it doesn't make it stupid. Or there's somebody else sitting on the other line of this computer going, I don't want to ask that, I don't want to ask that, I don't want to ask that. But you ask it, and they're like, oh, thank God she did, because now I know the answer. All right? So there's no stupid questions. I feel the same exact way when I'm in the little 5-star above groups. I still can't believe I'm in that thing. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like, I don't even know what they're talking about when they mention that word. Like, what does that mean? You know, so I'm still learning. I'm still kind of like, I don't want to raise my hand because I don't want them to, you know, whatever. It's fine. It's normal. But it's a safe environment. And eventually I ask my question or I comment, whatever. So what questions do you guys have that we can help you set your business up for success and be able to bless 3 people this month with this business, or with, you know, the challenge pack or a program, or how can we help you make the most of your business this month? No one has questions. Everyone's going to hit Success Club 6. And everyone's going to sign a coach. No. You guys have Carrie on here from Canada. She hit like Success Club 15 and her husband hit 6.
I know. That's what I was just coming on. I'm going to ask, how do you do it, girl? You're awesome.
To be really honest, okay, you're going to hear my kids. They're in the bath right now.
That's fine.
7:15 in Alberta, or 20 to 8 now. Anyway, I am really blessed that I'm a technology coach and a teacher with Edmonton Catholic Schools here. And so I'm working with a lot of adults, which is a blessing. And so because I had such a transformation, a lot of these people who knew me, have known me for years, they're like, what have you been doing? First of all. And so I share my story, and I'm constantly talking about it, which keeps me accountable in a big way. And so I feel like, much as awesome as social media is and Facebook is and connecting with people, which I love and is so very distracting, but I'm getting more traction off of just being me in front of people and not being afraid to talk about why my lunch looks a certain way, and how I'm 21 weeks pregnant and still being active. And like today, for instance, there's a lady who I've had very little to do with at work, and she came up to me and she said, okay, I've been following you. I don't know what you're doing, but you need to tell me about it. And I want in. So it's getting to the point that people are like coming to me. And so that consistency, obviously, which we all know, this isn't new. But, and then I just messaged the heck out of people the last week of the month and said, hey, this challenge group is coming up. You might want to order soon because we live in Canada and things take longer to get here. And you might want to, if you want to get in on this, it would be really awesome to have you. I just want to invite you to join this adventure with me. Just a lot of like, join me. And like, you need this or whatever. And then just sharing. I'm just sharing. I don't know. I don't feel like I have to be magical. I just feel like it's the people around me are liking my energy or just my realness. And I mean, like today, you guys, it's McHappy Day. I don't know if it's McHappy Day in the world, but it's McHappy Day here in Alberta. So I went to McDonald's and then really felt like crap afterwards. But, you know, like, and then I posted about that and I told people, I was like, yeah, this is happening. This is the 20% day, whatever. Carry on. But like, it is being real and being yourself. It seems to be working for me. And so, yes, my husband had 6 points, but let's be real, he didn't really.
I know that's you, but that's what I'm saying. So you're at 21. You know what I mean? So if you were really to add it up, and you know, 21, where Alyssa was 22. So it's like you're right up there. But when I do a shout out, you know, you and Janelle both are always so good about getting you
And our
both,
husband,
like,
some
yeah. And I'm not talking like you both get Success Club 5. I mean, you guys are really doing, and I think Janelle is a lot of the same way. She's just her.
Yeah.
She just shared a lot about her.
we're all grown humans, all of us crazy people, and we're all have small people, and we're just trying to maintain the reality of life. And I think that people see that. Well, I get you.
Yeah.
Because that's where I'm struggling. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that we all have a story, and some people think their story has to be perfect to be sharing things, but we all know that that's not true. And we can just let it happen.
Yeah.
And be real with your journey and go, you know what, today I had McDonald's for lunch and I felt like garbage after.
Right.
I promptly made myself some, you know, like lettuce wrap tacos. And so,
Right.
but like that's, and then they stack posting inconsistency. I have brothers in there. Can you hear that?
Yes.
So anyway, I'm honored to be a part of this and to be sharing this with people around me, and they dig it. So
They dig it. I love that. They dig it.
it's happening.
I think
Awesome. Thank you.
I wrote down 5 things from what she said. Like,
Yeah.
on it. So I want you, in case you guys had trouble hearing that, like, you know, being a product of the product, you guys, you have to be a product of the product. Like, you don't have to be in tip-top shape. You don't have to be rocking a 6-pack. You don't have to have this 50-pound weight loss story. But you have to be showing that these products do what we're telling them to do. Carrie, I'm with you. This bump just keeps going. My pants keep. Stacy's pregnant. Like, how many of us are pregnant?
Right here.
And you know, but we're showing that, like, I'm getting up and I'm doing these workouts, and these workouts are keeping like my weight under control. I can still see my obliques. Like, that's crazy. I'm 25 weeks pregnant. You know, like, Carrie's rocking her biceps. Like. But it's because we're consistently doing these programs, these workouts. And, you know, so if you're consistently showing progress, whatever that progress is for you, maybe it's, you know, maybe it's actually you committing through a program, and you can find a program that you love and a workout you look forward to. Like, so many people struggle with that. So many people don't stick with something because they struggle with finding what they enjoy. So even just sharing how much you look forward to your workout, how fun it is, how inspiring Autumn is, how, if you like Tony, how funny Tony is, you know, or how motivating and uplifting Shanti is. Like, what do you love about the workouts? What do you love about the programs, other than the weight loss story? But why do you work out with Beachbody programs? Like, what's in it for you? Like, I love them because they're short, they're effective, they're sweet. I love Autumn, like my jam. She trains how I would train my clients. Like, I get it. That's exactly me. Same with Shakeology. Like, are you sharing that you're drinking that every day? Are you sharing if your kids are drinking it? Are you sharing that your spouse is drinking it? Are you sharing what it's doing for you? Are you sharing that it's freaking chocolate and you can drink it and it's amazing on the go? Like, why are you drinking this, and what does it do for you? And on the flip side of that is make sure, like, what it's doing for you is probably what your audience is missing in their life. And so you have to speak to your audience when you're speaking about these things. And Christina Delgado said that last night on the National Wake Up Call. And I had a good chat with a coach earlier today about this. Like, if you're posting about being a product of the product, and someone can look at it and go, and the point of that was what? So don't post about the product, but be able to, like, why should somebody drink Shakeology? Why should somebody be doing that workout? Like, for me, Shakeology is a convenience thing. It's 100% convenience for me. Like, I make my shake while I'm making my breakfast. I put it in the fridge so that at 9 o'clock when I'm running out the door to bring the kids to school and I know that I'm not going to be back to my house by 10:30, my shake is in my car waiting, ready to go. It's done deal, whatever. I would probably forget to take a multivitamin and a digestive enzymes and all that other crap that's in there. I wouldn't take that stuff. Like, there's no way. So what is Shakeology doing for you? Because what it's doing for you is probably what your audience is missing. And there are people on here that probably wouldn't touch a vegetable. They wouldn't eat healthy. My pregnancy right now, lettuce, romaine lettuce. That's my vegetable. That's it. That's it. Everything else doesn't even come in the house anymore. I asked Matt the last time he had a vegetable because I don't know when it was. But Shakeology has saved me from that and allows me and gives me that peace of mind knowing that like me and the baby have all the vitamins and minerals we need because of this. So think about not just posting about the product, but sharing what they're doing for you in more ways than just your weight loss. If you don't have that weight loss transformation yet, because eventually you will. And then you can show the before and after of the product, right? Number 2 is face-to-face. That can be scary. I tell this to the leaders all the time, like, if I'm out in public and somebody approaches me about Beachbody, I'll probably be quiet. And my husband's over there going, oh yeah, it's so great. The company does this and Shakeology and the blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, go ahead, honey, because I'm going to be quiet. It's very uncomfortable for me, even 3 years into the business. Like I don't want people to come off as I'm trying to like push something on them and whatever. So it is something that I have to work on. Like I have to own it. And when I started working on that, my mother and my father-in-law are now drinking Shakeology. My mom and my dad are now drinking Shakeology consistently. I'm getting ready to go on an 8-day vacation. By the end of that vacation, my sister-in-law and brother-in-law will have a Shakeology HD order every single month because they love it. They drink it or they enjoy it. They take it from my mom. They just don't get a thing. But I'm going to spend 8 days with them and I'm going to be like, this, you guys, come on. Like, why, like, you love it, you drink it, like, why, what's going on? But I have to get over those hurdles of being uncomfortable or afraid of hearing no in person.
Yeah, my dad will actually call me because he's underneath me as a coach and drinks his Shakeology daily, has lost 40 pounds. He's like, okay, coach, what do I gotta do now? And I'm like, okay, dad, like, play along. So, like, get family members and then sharing the story. I don't know if any of you probably heard of Brené Brown, but you need to read all the books that Brené Brown has written, audiobook them, something. And like that was such a heavy impact on me in sharing my story out in public, trying on clothes and being like, holy smokes, I'm in a size 6. I've never worn this size in my life. They're like, what do you mean? You look so fit. And I'm like, yeah, but I wasn't. Here's my picture. And they're like, holy cow, So like to be really real and celebrating your moment and be like, oh, this is awesome, And then that face-to-face gets like major jam, right? Because the energy that people get off of you, if you're pumped about your story and own it, you'll go miles. So
I love that.
If I can interrupt a second.
Mm-hmm.
The thing that scares me about the face-to-face, because I've had many opportunities to bring something up to somebody, I'm, I guess, not confident enough in everything. I'm afraid I'm going to not have an answer to a question or something. And then I'm going to be like, looking like I don't know what I'm talking about or something like that. So that's where I struggle with the face-to-face stuff. I've a couple times talked face-to-face with people, but then I think, what if they ask me that question or this question and they put me on the spot or they want me to compare something that I'm not really familiar with yet. So.
And I think that's just owning too, like, hey, you know what? I don't exactly know yet.
Yeah.
Or, you know what? I don't know, but I can go back and check my online office and I can find that information for you. What's the best way to get back in touch with you?
That's a good idea.
And it's just, but you're probably like me and you hear that, you get that question, you're like,
You freeze up. Yeah. You know what?
But I think it's just the more you practice it and just the fact that like you're not going to have all the answers and someone's going to ask you some stupid question just to ask you a stupid question.
Right.
So they can look at you and say, see, you don't know.
But yeah, exactly.
And that's on them. That's nothing you can do. Like that's them being them probably. But I don't think there's any, like, if someone asked me a question, I would still have to say, like, you know what, let me go check the online office, or I'm not exactly sure, but I can try, and I want to make sure I have the best answer for you. So what's the best way for me to connect with you?
Perfect.
Just always serving them.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's kind of like when people ask what you do as a Beachbody coach, and how many of you get asked that question and you kind of freeze because you don't know what to say. Right? And then you're like, so take, like, that's something that, a tool that you can have in your tool belt when people say, like, well, what do you do as a coach? Or what do you do? And people ask me all the time, and I'm just now starting to say, like, I'm a stay-at-home mom, but I also run online fitness groups to help people with people with their healthy lifestyle. Like, I am a stay-at-home mom, but I'm not just a stay-at-home mom. Like, I'm running a 6-figure business through my computer, you know, and you have to own that. It's just figuring out words that you feel comfortable to say, and not because what you feel comfortable saying is not what I'm going to feel comfortable saying. And so, you know, what I say, and then they say, well, what do you do? And I say, well, you know, I personal trained before I had the twins, and I was into health and fitness, and I was just really missing that after I had the kids, and I started doing Insanity, this workout program, and I realized that I could team up with Beachbody to help people make sure that they see the best results with the programs that they're purchasing. And so now I help people, I pair people up with the best program for them, and I run an online fitness group to make sure that they are accountable and they see through their program. You know, and I just kind of explain what I do and how and why I got started to do it. But you have to kind of take initiative to have a response before that question's ever even asked to you. Does that make sense? Same thing with, what is the 21-day fix? Oh, it's Beachbody's program. Well, that's not a real helpful answer, right? And it just sounds like something you don't know. But if you were to say, oh, have you heard of the 21-day fix? It's a 21-day fitness and nutrition program that really focuses on portion control and short, effective workouts to make sure that you get the most out of the program, or what, you know, however you want to say it. Or I have it in my description, like, we work in superfood Shakeology. So just having those answers before those questions are even asked of you is going to help you build that confidence. Right?
Yeah.
So then being you, and you guys have heard that before, but sometimes it's easier said than done. So she said, you know, check out Brene Brown. I know Alyssa Anderson has really loved her as well. So if you're struggling with being you, being vulnerable, sharing your story, or even knowing what your story is, then I would, you know, maybe look into her library of books. And I'm typing her name in the chat so you guys can Google that. I personally have not read any of her books, but I know a lot of coaches have, and they've really, really enjoyed her. And, you know, with that, like, being you, personal development, like, if you're struggling in a certain area, and you guys have heard me say this before, don't just read what, you know, I'm reading. Like, what I'm reading is something that I'm struggling with, so that's why I'm reading it. It might not be what you're struggling with. So if you're struggling with something specific in your business, then you need to read a book that's going to help you get through that hurdle. You know, right now I'm struggling with, like, well, why am I not here? Well, duh, I'm not doing what I need to be doing to get there. So my book right now is all about taking more action and setting big goals and not being afraid to set those big goals, and knowing that even if I fail, I'm going to land further than if I would have set a smaller goal. Because that's what I'm struggling with right now. But you might not be. Maybe you're struggling with confidence or being vulnerable or time management. So find a personal development book that's going to help you so you can share that on social media, right? Like, you can share your personal growth story with other people who are going to connect with you, who might be in your same spot. And if you're a mom, our niche is so big. It's so big. You know, like, how many moms feel burnt out at the end of the day? How many moms put everyone else first and not themselves? How many moms feel guilty for putting themselves first or for doing a business like this? You know, like, I remember the first time I put my kids in school so that I could do Beachbody. I'm like, this sounds really backwards. But on the flip side, like, they're going to go to school eventually, right? So I just started a few hours a week, and I focused on my business those hours. And now, 3 years later, my paycheck tomorrow pays for their entire summer camp tuition and May, because I just started with small investments, right? I don't know how we got your niche. So being able to share and relate with your niche, like, if you're going through something with your kids and you can share and you're comfortable sharing, like, share that, because I'm sure there's another bond that's like, I totally need that. I needed to hear that. I needed to know that I'm not alone in that position. So be you, whatever that means. If you are a dog lover, if you're a cat lover, if you're a runner, if you're a weightlifter, if you're a food junkie, if you're a candy addict, like be you, because you want people to be able to relate to you and not think that you're Miss Perfect and you have all your crap figured out. And then you have to carry that on, and that's a lot of pressure, right? No one can do that and last without snapping. If you've met them, they're going to snap eventually. Yeah, I don't know who says that, but yes, it says Brittany Wright. Is that Carla? Oh.
Rachel.
Are you me?
Yeah,
Oh, it is.
says Brittany.
Oh, because you have my Zoom.
I'm just now noticing that it says that I'm Brittany Wright, but I'm getting confused. I'm muting. I have no idea what's going on, clearly.
Aren't you lucky for the next 30 minutes?
You're getting a big paycheck tomorrow.
That better support me. Number 4 that I wrote down was, and we kind of covered it, but it's not being afraid to talk about it. And just being confident in what this program, product, and community has done for you. I've seen 2 amazing posts by girls today and yesterday about the company as a whole. And that's huge, because it's not just our team that you're joining. You're joining Beachbody. You are joining a community because you do get paid by them. They are giving you your tools. They are giving you the resources. So not being afraid to talk about it and being confident in the MLM that you're in, because people do have an icky feeling towards MLMs, and it's our job to make sure that they don't get the icky feeling from us, and then it's somebody else that they're getting the icky feeling from. So help them understand how good this is, and how good this company is, and how good this community is, and this team is. And number 5 was just, I wrote down sharing. Just you guys have to share. You have to invite. Carrie even said it. She invites like crazy. She messages like crazy. And I'm not asking you to go out there and send 10, 15 messages every single day. Like, do what works for you and your balance and your goals. But don't expect to hit Success Club 15 if you're only sending 2 messages a day. You can expect to hit Success Club 5 at the end of the month. But do you know what I mean? Make sure that make sure you know your goals so you can set your actions, and make sure your actions are something realistic that you can do in your day-to-day life. Right?
That's where I'm struggling with right now, is because I'm starting to have to turn to my cold market.
Yeah.
So I was just telling Taylor earlier today, I'm having to go into groups on Facebook and just make those relationships with people, which has been easy in some aspect, but if I can find common topics, like someone was posting about when their child should go to the dentist first, and I work in the home office, so I sent her a message and we went back and forth, and she had a couple other questions. And then another girl was feeling really depressed because she's been feeding her kids a lot of frozen food and fast food. So I kind of gave her some tips, but I don't like to be too pushy. So that's kind of where I struggle, is I don't know what to really say to get them. I don't know if I say you should follow my page or something like that. I don't really know.
I think with those conversations, it'll just kind of naturally happen.
Okay.
And, just be there and like follow up with them next week. Like, hey, were you able to get in with the dentist? Or, hey, have you been able to find a good dentist? And for the girl, like with frozen food and whatever, like, hey, no, I sent you those recipes, or I sent you those tips. Have you been able to try any of them? Or how are you feeling this week? And just be there for them and being a friend before anything else. And I think if you go into those conversations not expecting ever to get a challenge pack, and just being able to offer like your help, Stacy, as a hygienist, like you would have never been able to help her if you weren't doing Beachbody, because you weren't gone into that group.
That's exactly what I said. I said it feels good. Like it makes you smile because you are giving help to somebody. And I normally wouldn't spend the time to go into groups and look at what people are saying and asking.
Yeah.
So it was nice.
Yeah. So if you can go into it and be like, you know what, if that's all I had to do for her today, if that's what was our interaction, if that's how I got to bless her this month, perfect. Like, that's fine.
Okay.
But you keep that relationship going. I friend them. Make sure you're friends with them. You know, your business is small enough right now. Like, follow up with them next week. Put them on like a list and just say like, I'm going to follow up with so-and-so about hygienist. And, you know, those are the people that if you can build those relationships behind the scenes in the message, that when you start sharing who you are, what you do, and what you're about on your like page and your personal page, or whichever one you are primarily using,
Right.
They'll see that. And then if you do a challenge group post and they're like, okay, I want to know more about this, then that invite might come out, or your conversation might naturally turn into a Beachbody or about what you do. And if they ask like, oh, what do you do? Well, I am a mom to 2. I'm pregnant with my 3rd. I'm a part-time hygienist, and I'm also a part-time online fitness coach.
Okay.
And they might be like, oh, well, what does that mean? And then you just breadcrumb, and you just give them a little bit, and you keep them asking, well, what does that mean? What do you do? What do you mean?
Sounds good. That's easy enough.
Yeah. And Christina Delgado said it on the National Makeup Call, like, talk less. Like, just give them
Right.
pieces to keep the conversation going, and don't be like, oh, well, this is what I do. And you send them this paragraph. Like, I'm moving past that conversation.
Exactly.
So that's a good question. And just for everyone going into groups, like, you go into groups to cultivate the relationship and to build a relationship, not to make a challenge pack sale. You build those relationships in May so that in August, you're setting yourself up for a challenge pack sale, right? Okay. I just want to check the message. Anything else?
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
So if someone gets, you know, you got your challenge pack, everything's going good, they're in your group. Do you guys stay consistent to see how they stay on Beachbody and do the Shakeologies, or do they kind of drop off? Because I've had a couple of people that just completely dropped off month 2, and I thought, God, what am I doing wrong? Is exactly what it was for me. What am I doing wrong? Because I thought, wow, I got them excited, I got them here, but they didn't stay.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if anybody has a thought about that, or that's been my block, because I'm like, if I invite somebody else and they drop off, God, I must be doing something wrong. So it's me. I'm probably the block, but
No. I think that's a real block, because I was actually just thinking that tonight about my 3 girls that just finished up. I'm like, they didn't really seem overly involved or excited. Like, one girl is going through May, but the other 2, it's like, if I ask them, how'd the weekend go? Good.
right.
Help you. I don't know. Okay. And so some people, I think it's just their nature. Like, they just mentally might not be ready. So I just check in on them until they tell me not to. But I just say like, hey, what's going on? Hey, where Carrie's screaming. Oh, that's awesome. I got so distracted. Second month. Just ask them, hey, what's going on? I remind them that their Shakeology is going to ship, and make sure that they know that, and that's a good conversation starter breaker to kind of segue into like, what are you going to do? So I always bring that up and just ask them like, well, how are you feeling? Like, what's your next step? Say you're not alone in that. Like, that second month can be tough if they weren't overly involved in the first round. It's like, okay, what are you going to do? Like, what do I have to do to, did you not like your workout? Was it a bad time at home? Was it a bad time at work? Like, you have to get them to talk. Like, so like on my list for me to do tomorrow is to follow up with those 3 girls and say, okay, like now we're 4 days post program. How are you feeling? What are your next steps? Like, are you waiting until May? And even maybe outlining some steps for them. Like, okay, you're done with the program. Do you want to continue? Do you like your Shakeology flavor? Do you want to try a new program? Do you want to just go on your own and I'll check in with you every other week or every 2 weeks or, at the beginning of the month? Like, just asking them more questions to see where they are at.
Okay. No, that's good. I like that. I appreciate it.
Anyone else have anything they do to help people with the second month?
I do. Can everybody hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I have had a challenge group running for about 2 months now, and I just keep on inviting everybody into it, and not everybody in there has bought. I've only had a couple, and I felt when I first started doing it that these people would eventually, really interact a lot more, and eventually, buy a challenge pack or, anything, or really like Beachbody. Then I was posting daily workouts. I was posting the 21-day fix, but it was just what the moves were. And then I had a complaint about it because they needed to see a video. And, I obviously encouraged, that it would be easier to, have it in front of you at home, but they just aren't ready to, commit to buying,
Mm-hmm.
or they don't have the money, or I have people just completely ignoring me. And even when I follow up, I'll send them a message again. They're still in the challenge group, and I see that they're seeing everything, but they just completely ignore me. And I don't know what to do for this month. Should I keep this challenge group running, or should I start a new challenge group to kind of freshen it up? Like, I'm kind of stuck right now, and I don't know, like, if I did, maybe I tried doing it about the wrong way, like just giving everybody, now I'm getting workout videos off of YouTube because
Yeah.
they want to see videos, and I don't know really if that's the right thing.
So is this a free group, or is it a mix of challenge group and, like, some people have a program, some people have a challenge pack, some people have nothing?
Yes.
Okay. So the people that have a challenge pack, how are they doing?
Well, I just had one order the other day, and she posted in the challenge group how she can't wait to start. So that was kind of nice for everybody to see,
Mm-hmm.
that how excited she is about it.
Yeah.
And then a few other people doing the 21-day fix, and I talk to them privately. Once in a while they'll post, but they're pretty private about it. But they are having a lot of success with it, and they love it.
I would even say similar to what I told Carla. Like, I would post in the group and say, hey guys, the engagement or interaction has been, hit or miss. I just wanted to hear some feedback from you guys and what you would like to do moving into May. Would you like to, option number 1, keep the group open and keep it running as it is? If this is what you want, then I need some more interaction from you guys. Like, I want to see what you're doing. I want to be able to help you. Number 2, take your break from this group and get started again in 2 weeks or 3 weeks, whatever. Or number 3, we'll shut this group down and I will have my next challenge group for those who are doing 21-day fix or whatever other program you have people doing starting on, and then insert your start date. And make that next challenge group for people who are just paid customers. Because if you're investing a lot of time into it, and those people who are getting that same value for free that the challenge pack people paid, that's kind of a hard pill for them to swallow if they found out that other people weren't paying and they were still getting you. Does that make sense?
Yes.
And you want to, even if you're a new coach, like, you need to put value on your time, because that's part of the challenge pack.
Yeah.
So, like, if I'm giving to this person the same that I'm giving to someone who invested 140, but this person doesn't want to do anything, that's not fair. You know,
Yes.
and you want to make sure, like, if you have 5 minutes, that you're checking in with every challenge pack and 21-day fixed base kit person before you check in with the free people, because you want to make sure your other people are happy. So I would give them the option and kind of get a feel for what they want. And if no one responds, then you have your answer and you say, okay, this group is going to be shutting down. I'll be opening my next challenge group on such and such date. If you would like some information, please inbox me.
Okay. That's perfect. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. And then I would run one challenge group, and even a challenge group, buy a base kit, that's fine, and then one free group. But I highly recommend no one free going into a group where people have purchased.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
All right. Yes, it does. And also, for the challenge pack groups, like say I have somebody doing Insanity Max, 21-day fix, and 22 hardcore. Is it okay for all of them to be in the group together? Okay.
I think so. That's how I run my groups. Anyone can do any program in my groups because I keep the post very generic, but it's up to you to remember like what they're doing, because their meal plans might be a little different unless they're just following 21-day fix style. That's fine. And just kind of, you know, knowing what style workout and obstacles and hurdles they might have to go through with workout timing and whatever like that. You know how people can be sometimes. But I think it's also good for other people in your groups to see other programs and transformations and to hear the excitement from other programs, because it gets them excited to try new programs.
Okay.
So I think it's a good thing too.
All right. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Anything else? I just have one more thought for you guys, but I want to keep if you guys have more questions, feel free to ask.
I just have one more. Do you ever, because obviously the promotions change every month, do you ever say anything about those? I guess I haven't really noticed on your page, like to people publicly on your Facebook, or only if they're really asking? I mean, because I see like sizes on there and stuff. Do you ever?
Towards the end of the month, I might.
Okay.
Not throughout the month. Just because I like to pair people to a program.
Right.
And so once they say like, yeah, I'm interested in this, then we kind of figure out what, and 90% of the time it's 21-day fix anyway.
Yeah.
But we might get into conversations that 30 minutes is too long. And if I can say, well, what about 22 minutes? You know, that 8 minutes is like, woo. But I kind of gauge it in a private conversation towards the end of the month.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Yep.
Perfect. Thank you.
I do have a question. For like, because I'm hitting my cold market right now. And now, because I am friending people on Facebook and things like that, sometimes I get like, when I friend people that have like suggested like 20-some friends to me, I'll add them to my Facebook, and then they're like, how do I know you? And then I'm just like, I don't know what to say.
So you just add them from a mutual friend?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like one time I kind of made it up where I'm like, oh yeah, I met you like 5 years ago, like with my sister-in-law, and you seem like a really sweet person. And you came across my Facebook feed, and I just wanted to be your friend.
I don't have too much experience doing this as far as going to mutual friends, because a lot of my cold market come from groups that's where I'm more comfortable.
Yeah.
But if I do see we have mutual friends, if we have like 10 mutual friends, like I'll probably message them and I'll say, hey, like I see you, like I'll just ask them, like, I saw we were friends. We had mutual friends in common with so-and-so and so-and-so. Like, how do you know them? I used to, and I make sure you share your story and how you know them, so that they're not like, oh, she's just asking me, but she doesn't want to give information. And own the awkwardness. Like, I'll say, like, I know this is super random, but I saw we had like X amount of mutual friends, and I was just wondering, like, how do you know and know the person and mention the person you know the most and say how you know them.
Yep.
And I think a lot of it, like when we own the awkwardness, you probably kind of chuckle and like, yeah, this is super weird, but let's go with it.
Yep.
Same thing with Pinterest. Like when I was messaging people from Pinterest, like I would say like, this is super random. I found you on Pinterest and I stalked on how to find your Facebook icon and make sure that I can message you. Weird. But here's why. And I just explain why. So it's just, I think when you can own the awkwardness, I think it kind of cuts it off a little bit.
Yeah, because I'm like, oh god, this is so awkward. You're putting me on the spot. I don't even know what to do. How about beach body? You want that? Okay, all right, moving on.
And I don't know if you heard earlier, sorry.
Yeah.
But again, like that conversation, like just think about it as literally making a new friend, not making a sale.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Just a new friend, like just be you. And I think a lot of that, you guys, is the best conversations. Like there are so many times that I get a post in the team page, like, how would you respond to this? And honestly, everybody's going to respond a little bit different. We can give you the bones, but you have to fine tune it because you want them to connect with you, not me. Like if you take verbatim what I said and post it to them and they buy it, they're expecting that same verbiage, that same communication from you the entire time. And that's going to be hard if you're not me to talk like me all the time, right? That's why certain challenge group scripts are going to work for some people and they're not going to work at all for other people because it's not you. It's not your market. It's not your niche. It's not your audience. And that's okay. You can try it, absolutely try it and see if it works. But if it doesn't, it's not you. It might be a timing thing. Don't post it at 2 p.m. Please, no more. I don't even know if anyone's doing it on here, but no more challenge group posts or coaching posts in between like 1 and 5 p.m. and 9 and noon. Like, it's just such a hard time. Like, especially like if you're a mom or you're at work, like, that those are work hours. Like, your niche is not going to be scrolling through Facebook going, well, maybe they will be going, I need a new job. But, like think about the timing of your posts when you're posting them. That was a random thought. But
I did have another question about like groups because I'm having like a struggling problem like finding people to like connect with, I guess, because I'm not a mom. And I'm not married. I don't have a husband. So I'm like, how do I like find a group for like single ladies that want to hang out like and have fur babies?
I'm surprised there's not a fur babies of whatever group on Facebook.
There's like dog moms. There's like a post about dog moms, but I'm like, should I like friend people from the dog group? Like I don't.
Why not?
Like, I don't know. It's like awkward, I guess. And like, I mean, I could do my job, but I feel like I want to keep both of my like careers separated a little bit because I feel like because I'm trying to be a veterinary specialist in dentistry, and like that group of people are so like obsessed with it. Like if you're not obsessed with it, then they like judge you for it. They're really weird. They're psychos. So I feel like I can't really be friends with those, and like I'm trying to kind of keep it a little private that I'm doing the Beachbody thing.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm like, trying to play like both sides of the chessboard here.
Well, and that's hard. I mean, that's something that it's just going to be probably kind of a battle. Which
I kind of find it funny because now like 3 other actually certified veterinary dentistry specialists have become my friends and asked me to be part of my own group. And I'm like, okay, yeah, let's go with it. Yep. You can be part of my group. We can be friends. Like, cool.
But that's how, like, if that's your niche, though, like, if those are the people you connect with, like, that's your answer. Like, who do you connect with? Like, you connect with people who are you.
Yeah.
And are interested in
Yeah, because like the president and like the treasurers and like the vice presidents, they like it's a really big clique. Like they will cut people like if you're just like not all about veterinary dentistry, and just like it's super weird. And there was a couple of girls that are in my class that are already being judged by them and like making it super difficult to even pass the program because they're doing other things in their life. And I'm like, I don't want that to fall on me because I have this other thing. But then they should figure it out that certified vet techs make crap for money.
Well, I was just going to say, how do they want you to pay for this?
Yeah, that we don't even get paid that much. So obviously, like, I should be doing something different, but I don't know.
I think, again, like, if you just go into it just trying to build that friendship and that relationship, everything else will come in its own time. But, you know, kind of what I said to Stacy, like, how can you bless their life in other ways? Like, maybe through the friendship, you realize that they have similar struggles with you, that you can suggest a personal development book, or you can suggest, you know what, why don't you just, like, go for a walk, or, you know, what are you, like, there's just so many ways that without having a challenge pack purchase that you can bless or change their life right now in the moment. And, you know, maybe down the line, you know, so it's just all about that relationship, you guys. And most of you on here probably didn't join as a coach the minute we messaged and became a friend, right? That relationship or your upline, like, you had to take time to let that relationship, like, cultivate and build trust and build transparency and believe that I wasn't just out to get you for a challenge pack sale or a Success Club point. But I really saw how this company could bless you, or you could bless the team, or whatever. Like, there was some value in there. And then sometimes the best relationships, the best coaches take the longest to sign up, and that's okay. No, go ahead.
I was going to tell her something. So I think it's Jess, right?
Yeah.
So Jess, I'm a nurse, and I have, like, all my Facebook people are nurses, and everybody comes together. And I at first trying to follow Brittany, and I was not succeeding because I wanted to be like the mommy group, and I wanted to talk about the mommy group. And finally I said, you know, I don't think that that's me, but I do have 2 beautiful kids. I love my babies. I am home currently, but for me, I was trying to follow her way. And then all of a sudden when I decided, I'm like, maybe I just need to be me and let God work through me and see where I go. Oh, holy cow. Unbelievable. I actually made Success Club, which I have never done. So the other piece is that maybe whoever and I was single for a very, very long time, so I totally understand what you're talking about. But I had gone to things of what I used to love doing. Like, so I got into running because I was wanting to get to know more people. And I was like, God, I'm single for such a very long time. I don't know these different groups. And so I did something I enjoyed and got to meet people. And I don't know if maybe that's a thought, instead of doing it just on Facebook, just enjoying a run or doing a run group, which I wasn't part of those, and got to meet people. And my last one was J110, which church was, you know, a singles kind of and we just sat. I was able to make a lot of friends out of something, and maybe you could start there and have that as a opportunity, maybe.
I love that.
Great idea.
I love that.
Yeah.
Take it off social media. There we go. Weird. So funny. I love that idea, though. And that is, like, and again, you guys, like, that's another way that Beachbody is blessing you. Like, you want to grow your business, so you have to meet new people, and that requires you to get out of your comfort zone a little bit. And in turn, like, you ultimately benefit from it the most. Whether you get a Success Club point or not, or you grow your business or not, like, there's so many twin moms that I would have never met in my entire life had I not forced myself to be part of those Facebook groups. And ask them questions about pumping in twins and what the heck is going on and why do I not sleep and why are my kids not sleeping? And, you know, with each phase of life comes new phases of questions and, you know, getting involved in face-to-face stuff down here. And I'm awful at that. But it's something that, you know, with this new baby, I'm going to have to meet new moms. This child is going to have friends that aren't Brooklyn and Creighton. You know, it's just going to happen. But, you know, I'm more motivated to do that because I know I have something awesome to offer someone if they need it. And I want to be able to be ready and be there, you know. So it kind of come full circle, like Stacy said. Like, you might just be able to offer them a piece of advice in the moment, and maybe down the line they are, you know, on your team and a close friend or whatever. But you might be able to offer them a word of encouragement from your personal development that day or something like that. Like, you just never know. So.
One quick thing that I would like to offer Jess, talking about her, and is it dogs?
Yeah, I have 2 of them.
Well, I mean, rather than being completely, you know, moms of fur babies or whatever, are they purebred dogs? Are they little dogs? Are they big dogs? Are they? So you look at big dog groups and you look at little dog groups. And you look at pure.
I got both. I got a little one and I got a big one. One's pure and then one's mixed. One I found up north and then the other one I bought.
So you adopted dogs. You have purebred dogs. Yeah. Just explore the category. I mean, I don't know anything about you other than dogs.
I know.
There's all these other facets other than you're a woman who has dogs.
Yeah, that's a great point.
Focus on the dog aspect rather than you aspect. You know, there's a connection to other people through their animals. I mean, if you're not talking about your kids on Facebook, you're talking about your dogs or your cats on Facebook. So you've got a huge opportunity right there. Just explore black dogs, because I see they're both black dogs.
Yep.
You know, big dogs, little dogs, that sort of thing. You know, I mean, it's really one of the things I did for looking up. I looked up the city that I live in, and there's all sorts of groups. There's a Planet Fitness that has 1,200 people in it. So it's a smallish group of people thinking fitness already.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where you just kind of, where do I live? Okay, I live here. You know, we adopted a dog. Every animal in my house we have adopted. So adopting dogs with dogs and cats groups is fun for us. But that was just something that struck me when you were getting kind of spun out on the whole moms of dogs, and it's like, think about the dogs and just offer, what do they eat, and what do you know, does your dog have my dog has he had a kidney disorder, and he was, you know, on medication for a long time. So it's just that sort of thing. It's all a long drawn out story, but
no, I like it because it actually makes like conversation with other people, even with like other coaches in the group. Like, they know I work in advanced dentistry and I've been in the industry for 12 years now. So they will come up to me or like private message me and be like, well, my dog is acting funny. What do you think I should do? Or just different things about their own dogs that they have questions about, and then I'll try to help them. Like one of my friends that actually bought a challenge pack that I'm not really friends with, but kind of, I guess. She just went on vacation, and I guess she just bought a new puppy and it wasn't feeling well. And that kind of started a whole new conversation. And I was just like, how's your fitness going on vacation? And she's like, oh, like crap. And I was like, well, obviously.
Yeah.
I get back into it, but it also spins it into a new conversation, which is good too. But yeah, I'll definitely start digging into more dog groups, and probably Minnesota dog groups or something.
Yeah, that's a great idea. I love that, Jack. Thanks for chiming in on that.
Thank you. Good tips.
Because it's just relating it back to kids. I'm not just part of mom groups, I'm part of twin mom groups. And I'm not just part of twin groups, I'm part of boy-girl twin mom groups. And so it's if you can kind of dig a little bit deeper. And being a toddler mom or a teenage mom or wherever you are, like Jack said, like dig a little bit deeper into that kid,
Yep.
a few moms have autistic children. Like it's another niche that I can't help because I can't relate to that lifestyle, but you can. Or, just you don't want to use your children or use your dog, but that's how you connect with people. That's what's going on in their life that is going on in your life. And, Beachbody might be helping you along with that. And maybe it can help them, like your story, your journey is not going to be the same as anyone else's. Then that's where you have to set yourself apart from every other coach. Right?
Yep. Thank you.
Well, I won't keep you guys any longer. I'll just do a short little video tomorrow and kind of say what I have to say, but it's already 10:30, so I'm going to let you guys go, get off to bed, wrap up your work hours, and get ready for tomorrow. But I really appreciate you guys hopping on. I will be traveling for the next 8 days. We'll be up in Orlando with my family. So I'm still going to work. I'm like in a zone and I don't want to lose it. So I'm still going to stick to my hour and a half probably every day. And but just be gracious with the time getting back to you and utilize the team page for questions and connections. Utilize the Coach Online office and the FAQs. If you guys have questions, use those first. Kind of use me as a last resource. But use each other, use the team page. And I really just appreciate you guys hopping on again. And I'm really excited to take the momentum that we had at the end of April and move it into May. You guys finished off with a strong month, and I hope we can start that May off and have an awesome May. All right? All right, you guys, have a good night. I'll have the recording up tomorrow.
Good night.
Good night.